Hello everyone, I'm Denise Love, and today I just feel like playing and experimenting in the Dina Wakley Media Journal, multi-surface journal for mixed media. So this is a great big journal, art journal that I did in an art haul recently. And I really love it because it's got several different types of paper in here and it's already put together. So we don't have to make our own journal if you wanted to just get something fun to dive in and play. And so it's got some watercolor rag in here. It's got some burlap. It's got some canvas. And it's also got some craft paper. So it's got a variety of different papers in here. And they're put together as signatures. So there's 4 different signatures here in this journal. And it's a big journal. This is 10 inches by like 14 inches. So it's really large. They do have, I think, a smaller media journal, but I think it's, you know, like this big, and it's just all craft paper. I haven't seen one with the different surfaces in it. But I just kind of want to play and experiment on maybe just a random page in the middle. This will be the very first page that I kind of do in this book, and I want to play in my Masha's watercolors because I love them so much, and I thought I would just do a piece in here with the watercolors. Not really anything in particular that I'm trying to create. I just want to just give these kind of a go and see what we like. And I've kind of been playing in the colors. I'm just gonna lay some color down. Maybe do one of these odd shaped bubble looking abstracts and just see where we want to go. But I did want to play on this paper. This is a different, it's not like standard regular cold press paper. I think it's more like that Indian cotton rag that you can get that's so cool. And I just want to see how it performs with the watercolor and play. And so I'm gonna just experiment here, and I might take some color back off and just see like what does that get as it combines. Just in the mood to play, basically. And sometimes it's just like, well, why don't I just film it? Because then you can sit and play with me. So I really love the oranges and the different kind of warm shades of the color wheel, and that's kind of what I was wanting to experiment here. And you know, I did some pretty little abstracts with this Essentials palette that I got from Masha's Watercolors, and then later she had posted a 36-piece set of all the different palettes that she offered, and so I got the little 36-piece kind of, it's like a travel set. It'd be really good as like a traveler set. So I just thought perfect way to experiment with all the colors was to get like a little sampler set like this, and then I could pick out my favorites. Maybe there'll be a favorite palette of my favorites. I don't know. That'd be super fun, wouldn't it? And the thing about a book like this, you might think, oh, you know, when it's brand new, you might think, oh, I'm scared to mess it up. I don't want to do something wrong in it. But I kind of found if you get more than one of them, I got 2 of them, that then you're a little less precious, because you know everything is, there's more than one out there. It's not the only one you'll ever have. You kind of need to get past that paralysis of, I don't want to mess it up, it's new, I don't want to do something wrong in it, it's just paper. I have to tell myself this too, it's just a sketchbook. There's nothing that can't be replaced or done again, and you're just, you know, we get afraid of that white page, and maybe part of that fear is it's new and I don't want to ruin it, but you know, if you never jump in and start playing, you're never gonna get good at it and figure out what you like and how you want to play in these things. And so today, and I've had on these for like a month after I got it, so trust me, I understand the feeling. Today I thought I'm just going to do it. We're going to open it, we're going to play in it, we're going to see what we think. This paper is really nice and thick. I do like it. It is kind of different in the way that it's soaking the paint up compared to the regular, like the Hahnemühle watercolor paper. It's a little bit different, so that's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's different. It's fun. You know, these watercolors, these Masha's colors, they are granulating watercolors. So they're going to soak up and separate and do weird things. And man, don't we love that. Like, I love that. And I just want to see, you know, what happens if we dip colors into other colors, and if we touch the different colors with each other, how are they going to spread on this paper? I'm going to treat this as an experimental journal. It's not going to have a subject, except maybe the subject is experimenting. I don't know. I'm just going to maybe color palettes, maybe different stuff like that. We'll see. So I've kind of kept it to oranges and purples, kind of in the warm stuff. And I'm just kind of laying some other colors in here just to see, because I got a big orange section right here. I want to separate that into something else, or I could stencil on top of this. So stenciling could, I feel like, yes, yeah, I feel like that. I feel like a stencil is in our future. Just got a bunch of the Stencil Club stencils, so maybe this is the moment to stencil on top of this. I'm not sure I'm adding anything extra here as I continue to add colors. So I've got some Derwent drawing pencils. Got, from whatever my latest art haul was, I just have some of that stuff still sitting on my table. And I'm kind of thinking, you know, maybe this is a Derwent Chinese white. And the watercolor is still wet. I'm just kind of thinking, move color around. Oh, move color around. So even though this is white, I'm just kind of moving wet color. But look at that different texture that just made. Whoa, look at that. Okay. Oh, hope I keep some of that as these dry. That was pretty cool. Okay, there's nothing wet up there anymore. But that was super fun. This is that's the red. Here's the light sienna. Now I'm just kind of doing some mark making as I'm thinking and letting this soak in and dry. I think I'll let this dry and I'll be back. Kind of thinking I want to try out one of these stencils from the StencilGirl Club. And this one is a bunch of leaves. I thought was really pretty. And now I'm almost thinking maybe I should have covered the whole page with color. But I'm kind of thinking, and you know, with these journals, you can just, your art journal is just about play and learning and experimenting with anything that you've kind of been thinking about, or at least that's how I think of them. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe I could continue to layer on here, you know, later if I decide, oh, I want something different, or didn't like what I did, or what have you. This is your playground for that kind of stuff. And so kind of thinking, what if we do some white stenciling on top? And then, I don't know if you can appreciate how pretty some of these colors right here blended. I'm just like, oh my God, that's gorgeous. I'm just using some Liquitex titanium white heavy bodied acrylic paint and an art sponge. And I feel like I'm going to do the white paint on top of this watercolor. And then hopefully we'll have just the parts with the leaves left, and these are kind of floating out there. So hopefully I can get them painted without really ruining the shape. So we'll just see. And because the paper's white, that white paint will go into the paper, I'm thinking. And we'll have like the yummy leaf pattern left. And if it doesn't work out, we can always gesso right on top of this and paint the page again. So you see what I mean? It's like not a big deal. I don't want you to, on stuff like this, get hung up in, I don't want to mess up the page, because remember, white gesso exists. If we don't like it, we can gesso it over and start again. Never, never, never say never. I might gesso over it. We'll see. Let's just even see, what is that? Well, I hate to move it. I kind of want to come on down. I love this section right here. Like, that would be a good section to cut hearts out of if we were having a bad paint day. That right there. And I love that the lines kind of dug into the paper, and we do see the lines that I was hoping we would see. So excellent. And I'm applying this where the white has a texture to it, so it's not like 100% solid underneath. And I'm fine with that. I'm doing that on purpose. I don't mind the texture. We might have a layer of something on top. It's all about experimenting and just seeing where we can go. I had a couple different ideas as I was letting this dry. You know, I like to let some of these watercolors do their thing. I don't want to dry them all with a heat gun, because when you get these yummy granulating ones, you want to give it time for it to kind of magically do what it's going to do. You want to give it that time. And so I was sitting here looking at it thinking, what are the different things that I want to play with? Do I want to do mark making? I had that Klimt class where we studied Gustav Klimt and we studied different patterns. So did I want to do some of his patterns in my work here in this journal? I mean, so many different ideas running through my mind. And then I was like, just jump in, just be brave, jump in, start the journal, quit holding off because you don't want to mess it up. All right, so this will be interesting. Let's see what that even looks like. These great big stencils, I don't use them very much because, you know, a lot of the pieces where I use stencils are a little bit smaller pieces. So this will be interesting. Let's just see what we got. And people say, do you wash your stencils? And I don't. It's thin layers of paint. I don't even worry about it. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So now, do I want to do more on top of that, or do I want to let this page live like this for a moment as I do other things and come back later, and this can just be a background kind of in my journal? So one thing I have noticed with that little tiny bit of tape that we just did, that tape does pull that paper. So it's a very, very soft cottony finish on this paper. So you want to be sparingly with the tape if using any tape at all, because it pulled those fibers right off, just like that cotty paper did that I got, those little sketchbooks that I just decided that was odd paper and I didn't know if I loved it, but it grabbed that paper also. So maybe tape that you're going to use to hold a stencil down and then pick back up, you know, maybe that's not the best thing in these books, just as an observation. And so I think for today, this is going to be, I'm going to let that dry and live in here for a while until I decide if I want to add other things on top. So I hope you had fun testing it out. The first little page that we've done, it might not be some big masterpiece, but that's okay. We're going to start and just build in this book and see, you know, what we end up with when we're done. All right, I'll see you next time.